Hello and welcome to Allianz Joy. I am so glad to see you today. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. We're having a great topic today and I have a great show and I'm very excited to have a guest today. We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving season and my guest today is Dr. Ellen Ettinger. And Dr. Ellen Ettinger is a doctor, but also a certified transformational life coach and a good friend and a colleague. And we are talking together a lot today about this season and about the things that we need to think about and the things that are actually more important than the turkey and the stuffing, right? Dr. Ellen Ettinger is also a songwriter and she's got some great YouTube channels that I'm going to tell you all about. I'm going to introduce you a little bit more to Dr. Allen. She says life is not easy. This is the most important thing in her practice as a transformational life coach, working with women, working with moms. Life is not easy, but there are so many challenges in life. It's sometimes much easier to have someone who already has solutions, because you don't have to invent the wheel for every problem, right? They are already there. The solutions are sometimes already out there, but that's why you need a life coach. And that's why we are together here today. We are both life coaches and we love to talk about our practice and the things we do together. Welcome, Ellen. Very nice to have you on the show today. I'm going to say Ellen, Dr. Ellen here today. You're also practicing in New York City still as an eye doctor. So tell me a little bit more about yourself, and I'm going to add a lot to that. Welcome today. Glad you're here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so delighted to be here with you. As you said, I am in New York City. I live here and I work here, and I am a city girl. Love my city. I've been an eye doctor for many, many years. And I always thought it was interesting. I had heard of a certified life coach and did some research and thought it would be great to do that. And at one point I decided, you know what, I really got to do this. I'd love to be helpful to people in another way. And I love my original job as an eye doctor, helping people use their vision and be better functional in their lives. But this is really a different way of helping people.
Absolutely.
And I really love doing it as a transformational life coach. I help people when they're at the biggest challenges in their life and they're facing obstacles or they feel stuck, and helping them get over that hurdle is really so helpful to them and really fulfilling to me as well. So I really love doing it.
Thank you. Yes, it is fulfilling, isn't it? I feel so also sharing with people. And you were already kind of in the job of kind of life coaching people with the job you did through some difficulties, more physical. And then at some point you just can transform also in your career, right? Because
Yeah.
maybe you have a feeling that you don't want to be there for the rest of your life, 40 hours, 80 hours probably a week, as you worked in the past, most likely. And so I'm glad you did that. I can feel that transformation for ourselves as well. So awesome. You work a lot with moms, busy mothers, navigating the challenging course of caring for children and house and family and holiday seasons, right? So you
Yep.
have a community group for that. And tell me a little bit about on Facebook and on YouTube what you have.
Yes, so I have a group in Facebook for mothers and parenting issues. And one of the reasons I chose that as a transformational coach is parenting is a very busy activity, as any parent can tell you. Juggling, taking care of kids and family and home and work and often community. And as mothers and parents, we often put our own priorities last. And so sometimes we're really feeling exhausted and frustrated and really sometimes stuck in our lives trying to figure out where to get the energy to keep going forward and taking care of all these people and issues. And so I offer a lot of recommendations and advice in my Facebook group to mothers. And I also have a YouTube channel with topics related to work-life balance and self-empowerment, and another YouTube channel for my music. So
Yes, I'll talk about that in a minute
yeah,
because I have to say, I love your channel for mothers. I love that transformational life coaching YouTube channel that you have. I watch it. There's great tips, and it's a great idea just that way to get some information out, right? And especially, you have been through a life of hurdles as a mother yourself. We have been through the past, right? We move through. I always say move through and move with it. And we love to help people also with our own stories. Do you want to share a little bit about one of your biggest hurdles or a few of your biggest hurdles that you learned so much from in your life?
sure, yes. And I think, as I think you were alluding to, one of the reasons that attracted me to be a transformational life coach is that I've been through some obstacles myself. I know what it feels like to feel like you have a mountain in front of you. I'm a 13-year breast cancer survivor. In fact, I just had some surgery recently, but I'm doing very well. And I also another big challenge that I had in my life as an eye doctor, I was a tenured faculty member in a large university system. And years ago, when I became pregnant with my daughter, and I told my department chair I was pregnant, he said, "You have other concerns in your life now, and we can't count on you being here." And he removed me from my most important responsibilities as a faculty member teaching, and really put me in at lower level responsibilities. And I didn't like that as a professional, and I didn't like that as a mother to be. And I was going to have a child, not lose my mind or sense of responsibility. So
Mhm.
to make a long story short, it ended up, I filed an EEOC complaint, and it ended up as a trial in a real court, a real judge, a real jury, of a sexual discrimination and retaliation case. And
Wow.
it was like watching somebody else's life movie, but I was the one on the witness stand, and I had a lawyer. Of course, as a state university, they had a whole team of lawyers.
Mm.
And so it felt a little bit, one of my friends described it like David versus Goliath. I felt like a little powerless person against this big power team.
Yeah.
Um, but fortunately, at the end, the jury had the option of finding the university and my administrators, the department chair and the dean and the president, either innocent or liable at the basic level or the highest level in the law, which is called wanton and reckless conduct. And the jury found the college and the department chair and the dean and the president all liable of wanton and reckless conduct against me. So that was really a good feeling as a professional woman to really start building a record of saying women can stand up.
Yes.
And I really, at the beginning, I felt really powerless. And it was really like climbing a mountain, trying to worry and see. And then I got to the other side of the mountain feeling powerful and hoping to make a difference, have made a difference that way. So
Unbelievable. Yeah.
yeah, so that
Wow.
is one of the challenges. And of course, the second real big one in my life is just sitting there and getting a diagnosis of cancer. And once you hear those words, you have cancer, your life is different. It just changes the way you see things. And so it really took me a while to think it out and think, how can you say cancer and courage in the same sentence? Um, and I actually am probably one of limited people that say, I am fortunate. I've had cancer and I am fortunate, because I do feel lucky. I've had good care. I've had procedures that have been helpful. I have good doctors. I have a good community.
Mhm.
And so I say, I have cancer and I am lucky.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's amazing. The things that you have gone through, that first hurdle, it's a huge mountain. It's huge. And you are kind of the Jeanne d'Arc there of really saying and standing up for women in general for their job and employment, right? So you're going to
Absolutely.
have some bonding with the kids, but you definitely want to keep your job. You definitely want to go through the pregnancy and through having a baby, but keeping the status that you're at. So that is unbelievable that you did that. And yay, kudos to you, because that's very impressive. And you kind of set the, you know, opened and cleared the road for a lot of women that want to go there. So I want everybody to hear that. And secondly, cancer, absolutely getting that courage, going through it, where you have been and what you have done with it. I always say, in my practice, I always say it's what you do with it, right? We have to kind of see. It might be really difficult. It might look at the moment that we're in the middle of it. We might look really, you just can't ever overcome it. But once you do, I love this two C's of cancer and courage together, because I think that's what ultimately the outcome is. And I hope that that's for a lot of women. I mean, a lot of women will definitely feel and go through the same as you have gone through. So I feel that if we can see the outcome or even believe in it, right? If we have hope that you can get through it and that you become stronger with that courage that you displayed. Amazing. I love that. I
Thank you.
love that. And one of your, what I love so much, what I want to ask you about is that one of your creative outlets is to write about it. You are an author, songwriter, and a beautiful voice. So was that one of the things that I always say I write a lot, and I always encourage my clients to write, write a lot down, and to put that in form of a song is amazing. So tell me a little bit about that and about these struggles and what that did for you.
Yeah, I've always loved music, and I find that I love to communicate through music, through words and the sound. It really helps me feel empowered. So one of the songs that I wrote, and I'm a 13-year breast cancer survivor. So when I was dealing with that, I wrote a song called Cancer, I Am Stronger Than You. And when I wrote it for me. And I did put it on my YouTube channel. And some people are telling me that they've learned the song and that it helps them. And I can't, even believe that. That is so gratifying to me that I could help somebody.
Yeah.
There's a
The
woman in my
power of
neighborhood
sharing.
who
Yeah.
was diagnosed with lung cancer, and I shared the song, and she said she sang it to herself when she was having chemotherapy. And I'm like, it's really hard for me to believe that something that I wrote could be helpful in that way. And I'm so grateful and, again, fortunate to have been through that experience so that I can help other people that way.
And that is the power of coaching and the power of sharing, right? Because
Absolutely.
once we kind of know and get that little knowledge, or the big wisdom in this case that you gathered, because that's not a minor little thing, it's huge overcoming two and probably more, what we call trauma. Sometimes we don't even think about it that way because we're humble and we don't like to think about it that way, but it certainly is. And we have to label it so that at that point, once we recognize it, we can work through it, process, and give it to somebody else, right? And that is always such a powerful thing. I have said to, or actually in the show, and to people many times, that, once you find that purpose of sharing and you can give it away, that is really kind of the purpose of what people do in many cases, and especially in leadership, or coaching, what we do, helping others. And it's sometimes just a tiny little bit of knowing that somebody else has been through it, but they survived with a big smile, is what other people you just give hope, right? In that way.
Exactly. I think it helps people
Credit.
find courage to know that there are people who've been through what you're going through, who found a way there, or people who can talk to you and say, I feel for you. I know what you might be feeling. Why don't you try these things to help you, get through this? Because, again, when you have a challenge in front of you, sometimes you feel stuck, and it's very hard to feel. Sometimes you feel like it's a risk to go up that mountain to get over. It's sometimes even more comfortable just to stay where you're at, to feel stuck, rather than to take on new steps.
Absolutely.
And so one of the things that I love is helping people create that plan. Because what I really do feel in my life and in my coaching is that we all have obstacles in our life. Life is challenging in reality. And I think challenges and obstacles are there so we can get over them. And that's what we need to do to feel empowered to get over them and not feel stuck.
Yes, absolutely. I so agree with you. It's I always say it's God's curveball, right? He's just throwing a few out because he wants you to do better, but he kind of wants you to fight for it. It's not all coming in my past. I know I missed the boat a few times. So, we just have to work for it sometimes. I think bringing it a little bit, our conversation a little bit in this thought process towards Thanksgiving as well. A few things that you said is what we're doing is you're sharing your story to empower other people, to make them feel stronger. You're sharing your hurdles. And it used to be in the old days a lot easier through storytelling. We had our maybe grandparents living with us. Maybe in a lot of cultures that's still the case. Parents. Nowadays, we have to find to YouTube to get some advice and, do a course here and there. But, it used to be I think, a lot easier to just have that environment of sharing and storytelling. Not for every family. That's not guaranteed. The families are not guaranteed anymore either. Warm and dovey, right? And lovey. But in a sense of what we should do at the table to steer it in that direction is sharing stories of empowerment and strength and, knowing, telling kids maybe that they can expect the hurdles, that it's not all going to be entitlement and easy.
Right.
So what is your thought on that? I know we're going to go a little bit into that season, so give me some tips.
Yeah, I think that as parents and I coach people for a lot of reasons as adults, but sometimes I go into families as well. And there are so many types of challenges. There are health challenges and work challenges and time challenges. How am I going to handle all of this? And just the general stress in life, which sometimes expands, especially over the pandemic. It became so tough to handle everything together. And at the same time, while we're going through all these challenges, kids have their own stress as well.
Yeah.
And, so they were in school and then learning at home, and then now they're back in school. And now there are holidays. And for holidays, they weren't in groups of people. This year, there will be groups of people probably. So kids also have stress, and there's different ways of helping children with stress that I sometimes help families with as well.
Hmm.
And again, we were saying about the season coming up, and since it's November, I like talking to the families about Thanksgiving, because with Thanksgiving, we often focus on the turkey and the stuffing and what we're going to eat. But I tell the people that I work with, we also need to focus, first of all, Thanksgiving on giving thanks, on being thankful for all that we do have. Because first of all, that sometimes helps give us the energy and the motivation to keep moving forward for things that we don't have, because we're grateful for how much we do have.
Absolutely.
And it's the spirit of the season to be thankful first.
Absolutely.
So that's really an important message that I like to share.
And then even going forward, right, into the Christmas season, another thing. I would love to share with our viewers your the song that you wrote for Thanksgiving about this topic, and then kind of come back to it a little bit on what we can, finish with. There's so many great things in this song that I want everybody to listen to. I'm gonna put it out there. I want people just to kind of feel exactly what you say, that it's not, of course, it's about gathering. Of course, it's about good food. We want everybody to have good food. But what is really the spirit of Thanksgiving? Why are we thankful? There's lots of different ways to tell others, right, what we are grateful for. But you have worded in a song this in a great way. So I'm going to share that with our viewers and see if I can find your beautiful song here, and I can share that with everybody. So let me hit this button. It's called I Am Thankful by Alan Ettinger. And I also want you to if you are going for this song, if you are going by the YouTube and you find Elle on YouTube, please subscribe to her channel and make sure that you share the song with others. It is absolutely beautiful. Here we go.
I am thankful for the air I breathe, the food I eat, and how I see. I am thankful so that I can be. For all of these, I'm thankful. I am thankful for the sun up in the sky, and in the darkness that the moon can shine to guide the pathway home, and for all the goodness in my life. I do not take for granted all the wonders that I know. I am thankful, so very thankful for all I have. I am thankful, so very thankful for all I have. I am thankful for my family and friends who are so close to me, and for how they all encircle me with love and joy and peace. I am thankful for the roof above my head, for the shelter that surrounds me, for my warm and cozy bed. I am thankful that I go to sleep at night, and in the morning I awake the next day feeling safe and bright. I am thankful, so very thankful for all I have. I am thankful, so very thankful for all I have.
Mhm.
You have a
I'm
beautiful
always
voice.
happy to see you look gorgeous as
so
always.
much.
Stunning. And
Oop.
I backstage, I gotta
Give
say,
me
I
a
got
second
some
here. Somebody is still
wonderful
chatting.
music.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I think
And
still
one and
kids,
two,
right?
the next best thing.
I
Boom.
think it went to the next video, somebody else's video.
There.
It happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So I love the song and what you are telling us with it and how you are um, just really back to the basics, right? We forget so many times that I realized a couple of years ago with this horrible winter that we had in Texas that I was grateful for water and grateful for electricity. Every time when something happens and we don't realize that we take those things for granted. So
Yes.
beautiful. I love that.
Thank
You
you.
You can definitely find this on YouTube. Please go to Ellen Ettinger, songwriter, on YouTube. So on your channel, tell me a little bit about your other channel, how we can find you on YouTube. There is the mother and or the life coaching channel. What is the address for that on YouTube?
Yes. So that's Dr. Ellen Ettinger Life Success. And, there I have really a lot of topics that I call empowerment topics. How to really succeed in life. And
Yes.
I really enjoy doing, lots of topics like reaching goals and time management, stress management,
Yes.
children's issues, work issues. Love doing it.
Absolutely. I love that. I kept popping one question popped in my head, and I had that yesterday and the day before, and you were not around. So did you also come up with the music for the song yourself? So you write not just the lyrics, but also the music.
I do as well.
That-
Yes.
That's good, Ellen. I love
Yes.
that. Yes, that is
Yes.
amazing. You're so talented. I love it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful. So we
have-
both have to reach out to people. Absolutely. I hope they will find you, for these things that are all about life right now. There's anxiety, especially. I have a couple of shows coming up, especially about this anxiety around the holiday season. And this was the big kickoff with Dr. Ellen Ettinger. I'm so glad that we did this today. And just kind of get back to, we don't have a lot of time. We don't have hours. I can talk for hours about the topic. We don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but it's all about being grateful, being in the moment, get rid of that anxiety and just go back to the little stuff, go back to what we really can appreciate. Share it with your family, share it absolutely over a good meal. But we have to be grateful for, we have to just keep narrating that, right? Keep voicing that, keep sharing that. What really matters is very important. And I think that people get away from that a little bit nowadays, right? It's all anxiety here and there and everywhere. So much information, so much too much that we get, that we forget to just come back to the family, come back to friends.
And the things we often don't think about, the things we take for granted, like the air we breathe, the food we eat, the roof over our heads. So
absolutely. The
it's a
electric
great
and the
thing to
water.
remember that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What are you going to do in the big city of New York? I love New York. Here I am in Texas. What are you going to do in the big city of New York with your Thanksgiving season? Is there anything special you're going to sing, you're going to share? You have
Well, I'm going to get together with family, and I think we're all going to sing this song together. And I'm sure that we will go around the table and talk about what we are grateful for. We will also eat good food, but we're sure to think about giving thanks as well.
I love that. And you also told me that there are people that actually in school that are sharing your song with the kids, everybody's singing it together, it's going around. And I think that's a great thing for in schools, for sharing with the kids, for teaching them that song, just to do it outside the what do you call it, our box, our thinking box, outside the box, right?
Yes, I'm really excited about that kids are going to be learning about thankfulness by singing. And I think that's going to be fun for them, I hope.
Absolutely. That is a great way of doing it. Absolutely. And it's a great way of them coming together, sharing their little beautiful voices and learning about this topic of gratefulness. I'm so thankful for you as a friend, of course. I can share with you that Dr. Ellen Ettinger was one of the first ones to read my script about my book. I was so glad that you did that for me as a proofreader. And I am grateful for friendship as life coaches. We have a great get together every week with lots of coaches from Fowler International. We are both schooled and taught by a great institution, I should say, right? It's a great
Absolutely.
school. I love it. And we have our contacts every week. Everybody get together. It is a great season with your loved one, with people that you appreciate. Thank you, Dr. Ellen Ettinger, for being on the show today. Some last words for our audience.
My pleasure to be with you. Feel free if anybody wants to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk. And I want to say how wonderful your book is, Eliana. It was just a pleasure to read it. So
thank you.
I'm delighted to be here with you.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun today. We can talk forever. Reach out anytime to Ellen on ellenettinger@yahoo.com. It is on the screen, so don't forget to give a shout out, write an email that you've been singing with everybody, and also her two YouTube channels, Ellen Ettinger, songwriter, singing, and a Motherhood Association, right? Did I say that right?
Motherhoodassociation.com is my website.
That is your website. And the YouTube channel is Dr. Ettinger Life Success. I love that. So, just find us on YouTube, type in our names, you'll get there. You know how that works. I love it. Thanks everybody for watching today. We are so grateful. We had a great time. I hope you stay a little bit, chat, reach out to us. You can find me on www.alionhaan.com. Of course, let us know. Feedback, and wave at us next time as well. Love it. Thank you for joining the show today, and thank you so much for coming on. It was a great show. See you next week on Alion's Joy. Bye, everyone.